What's up, Dragon Brood? Today we are talking about Mono Green Aggro. Not in the traditional sense, mind you. We're going to be doing some Strixhaven spins on it and using Magecraft where we can to buff our creatures up, make use of a bunch of spells, and see if that can get us across the finish line. Now, I will say, I'm not the first to come up with this idea, and usually not the first to come up with lots of ideas because there are lots of people making videos. But anyway, there were a few people who I saw working on this. We had some people submit some stuff in our Twitch stream on Tuesday night, I believe it was. And honestly, I think there was enough parts between all these ideas that I put together a version that I think can actually do really well for us. So we play some really fun games, and it's really fast. So it's entertaining. Let's go take a look at this deck list. Okay, we are starting from the top here. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Now, I will say a lot of the lists you're going to see from people do have 4 Adventurous Impulse. And I totally understand because you want to make sure you can find one of the creatures you want to get out early and going. But for me, it felt kind of weak a lot of times later, but it is a 1-mana spell, so I understand if you do play 4 of them. Won't fault you at all. But the card overall is pretty solid, just not necessarily a thing I wanted a ton of. Then we're playing Blizzard Brawl. Fight spell, give stuff indestructible, nothing wrong with it. Charge Through, this is a card I almost don't like being in the list, but it feels like a necessity. It lets you draw a card, which is good because it lets you chain spells or help you find cards when you just are trying to dig deep. But it also gives trample to something big later in the game when you've turned a creature into a 7/7 or an 8/8 and you just got to get through, which in the current environment, when you're talking about pests and other things being around, it is actually important to be able to trample over and kill your opponents. Now, the next 2 cards I'm going to say, we do have Snakeskin Veil, which puts a counter and makes something hexproof, which every list seems to be playing 4 of. But I made adjustments and actually added 2 Ranger's Guile on top of that. Mostly because it's very easy to leave a mana open on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, and kind of set up those later turns. But being able to keep those creatures alive is critical, especially if it's something with Magecraft. It's going to get a double bonus for the turn from whenever you're playing that. It's really, really hard to go wrong playing an extra one of these, and truthfully they have come in very handy playing the 2 copies. Storm Shambler kind of makes the cut because it's, well, one, it's the only small creature that really makes sense to include beyond our stuff that are getting tokens, or getting counters I should say, but generally this also is able to get you other tokens that can also keep your field wide, right? Give you extra chump blockers when you're looking for them. It can also just grow bigger. And it's the only real 1-mana thing you should be considering for this type of list. It'd be nice if there was something else, but this is kind of all we got. Dragon's Guard Elite, play a spell, get a counter, you can double up the counters on it. Nothing too surprising there. I do have 1 copy of Inscription of Abundance, mostly because I was trying to find room for another removal spell, but this does so much more for 2 mana, and then if you happen to get to 5, you get a huge upside that can really be a blowout. Then we have Surferin. This is one I kind of debated on a bit. But if we are able to pump this and attack, you get a huge attack step out of this. It is only a 2/2, so there is that little bit of a liability. But it can really help pump up your other creatures, even more so if you have some the Charge Through that gives something trample. That can actually help you get those finishing points of damage. Quandrix Pledgemate. This one's actually interesting because decks I saw had either 2 or 4, and I don't really know why. But 4 feels like too many, and 2 didn't feel like enough because I wanted to draw them more often. So I just went with 3. I wish I had better explanation for you, but that's how we got there on 3. Then we have Gem Razor. Just a good way to destroy artifacts and enchantments. You can give something trample if you put a bunch of counters on it, give it a little bit of a boost, so that's always awesome. But be aware you can't actually mutate onto Surferin or Dragon's Guard Elite. So you're going to have 6 creatures you just can't mutate, but it seems fine. Still worth it. Then we have Stonecoil Serpent. Just gets bigger progressively throughout the game, has a bunch of cool abilities. It does have trample, which is important also. Lands, 17 snow-covered forests, 4 Faceless Havens. Nothing to write home about there. But overall, deck's pretty fun, really simple to put together. Not quite budget, but it does a pretty good job doing its best budget imitation. But for now, let's go hop into the arena, play some games. So yeah, so for my money, if I was going to do that, I would just play Master Symmetrist, have the option to have a 4/4. You know what? I'm going to gamble and just do this. Also, it may be possible that this is the type of deck that Master Symmetrist exists for as well. Dang it. Man, I hate Selfless Savior. I really do. Even when I play it, I hate it. I mean, good news is we can Gym Razor at some point to block that if we absolutely have to. So it's not the end of the world. We're not fighting anything here, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I will attack with the Stone Coil Serpent, because if they want to trade those for that, I am game. It's crazy to me that they were at one point that a 1/2 flying first striker is just okay. Yeah, that's the world we're in now. Ooh, an Alseed. That's annoying. I was going to say, I'm assuming you're attacking with everything. We are not blocking. In case you were wondering. Okay, deck. Enough with the lands. Enough with the lands. Let's see. We're definitely going to play this. The problem is, here's the tough part, right? I want to play this on the Pledge Mage, but I also know that by doing so, we're likely giving up something to the Apparition that they're probably holding. But I also want to be able to block this next turn. Man, greed. Trying to have my cake and eat it too. Alright, maybe we can entice the opponent to want to get rid of this, I guess. I mean, if the Apparition, I'm only getting a 4/4 back. Well, no. Yeah, because the Stone Cold just dies. Alright. I mean, they'll sacrifice the Selfless Savior, I'm sure. But I think this is my only real situational out here, so I'm just going for it. And if they get us, they get us. Alright, hopefully they don't have it. Okay. What are you attacking with here, though? Did I do the math wrong? No, they just gave up. Well, I mean, they kept the cleric back. Okay, never mind. Well, no. That's still not enough, right? Because you block a 4 and you take 9. Yeah. You had to leave at least 2 creatures back. Unless there's something I don't know about. Because the Gym Razor tramples. Alright. Okay, we'll keep this. Yeah, this deck really does, though, just want, like... I think if it had one other good 1/1 or... Well, 1 mana or 2 mana creature. Like, if we could figure out, like, that part of the equation, I think the deck actually has potential to be pretty good. Don't know how smart or efficient this is, but, you know, maybe they want to kill something. Oh, you're going to hit it now? Excellent. We'll get a 1/1 for our efforts. Then we get to play a Pledge Mage. That, oh, no such luck. Thought they were going to bite. I guess we're going to lose a Pledge Mage. I mean, we may still lose one, but let's just see how we lose it. Man, if we would have had a hexproof card here, get to save your creature and make them lose a Bonecrusher Giant, it's always so good when that happens. Alright, so the good news is here, they take their 2, we play this. If they play the Bonecrusher Giant, we will get to fight it and go search, and then we'll have a 4/4, 2/2, and a 1/1 all getting in there. They might just have another stomp, it looks like, though, for our Pledge Mates. They're reading it. They might want to kill it. We'll see. Perhaps the 1/1 with Trample, Pump, +3/+3, and use the previous format and a pump deck. You know, sweet. Alright, I'm not sure what all those words mean. Not sure what was happening there. Okay. So the problem is here, I still don't know what they're playing just yet. This could be like a giant deck or something else. I'm just going to do this. Gym Razor doesn't suck, depending on what they have. Though I really would like a land, too. But I'm going to do this. Because I truly don't know what the opponent's up to here. Okay, that's it. Alright, that's not the scariest thing. I don't mind playing a Stone Cold here, because if they are playing a giant deck and they play the Saga that does stuff, because it's blue-red, it actually won't kill a Stone Cold Serpent. Now, if they just play like Storm's Wrath here, we're wrecked. But such is life. Gotta risk it for the biscuit. So this falls into that, like, I know that they know that I know what that is. It's just a matter of which of the 2 cards is it. Alright, well, let's find out. If it's a saw it coming, it's a saw it coming. Though, arguably, I could have put it on the... Oh, it's not? No, they have something. Maybe it's a Glimpse of the Universe, or whatever I think is. Glimpse of Multiverse? Nope, it's Brazen Borrower? Sure. I actually don't mind that, getting those back. That's okay. Like, if that's the worst thing that happens, sure. That is great. Alright, Bone Crusher. Alright, so let's... If that one of those Faceless Havens was a green, that'd be a little different. But I'm gonna put this over here. Actually, hold that thought. If I do, I don't get to do the Blizzard Brawl. So I think we just attempt the Blizzard Brawl, because it's... If we have it, we have it. Gonna bounce our Pledge Mage? Nope, saw it coming. Fair enough. And then we will... I can use Charge Through, attack. Yeah. Well, this still only makes us a 5. And there's nothing else we could draw here that would matter. So I might just be better off making a Stone Cold Serpent for 3. And then seeing if we could set up next turn. This obviously isn't a Giants deck now because we saw a Brazen Borrower. Almighty Brushwag? Oh no, definitely I am not playing Brushwag. I agree it does not warrant a slot. Okay. Not sure what you're trying to set up to do, opponent. You know that I know what you have. You're at 6. Okay, so let's put this here. See how you feel about it. Oh, saw it coming? That's fine. Alright, well, I guess if you got it like that, you got it like that. What am I going to do? Sweet. It worked. Patience paid off that time. I think some of the best ones so far for me were the... which ones were it? The ones that came out with Zendikar. I actually liked the framing on those. I mean, those were probably my favorite ones, I think. Okay, what do we do here? We're not going to get to kill an Innkeeper, so that's going to suck. They're not going to block, I'm pretty certain. Alright, so we're just going to play a 2-2. I like most of them, but most of them feel so out of place against the other cards. I could see that too. That's a fair assessment. Okay, well the opponent didn't do anything, so we get to kill an Innkeeper. They're playing Abzan Adventures. So we're probably going to have to, at some point, deal with... Man, I almost kind of just want to attack. Because I see what they're going to do. But... I'm going to do this anyway. We have the Snakeskin Veil, so I'm not that worried about it. I mean, like I said, though, we're going to have to worry about... Sajit! Hey, thanks for the like there. I was thinking about Giant Killer being a problem for our Dragon Guard Elite, which is why I'm debating what I need to do with the Snakeskin Veil. But they're just straight up playing the Giant Killer. So there you go. I guess I should have went ahead and fought the Edgewall Innkeeper. I guess we'll do that next turn. Alright, they can use a Fable Passage. I thought they were going to get black and try to Murderous Rite or something. That's what we really wanted to happen. Okay, so we can maximize our attack here. I'm going to... This... Oh, yeah, on an Innkeeper. Alright, so they've got nothing even with all that. That is very, very strange. Okay. I don't know what your plans are here, opponent. You're just going to take 6, 7. Yeah, okay. I mean, I got nothing. I don't know what they're doing here. Extinction event. That is super sad for us. Alright, well, that's a thing I didn't see coming. I'd be lying to say otherwise. Let me go ahead and draw. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that because I have double Quandrix Pledge Mage here. Well done from the opponent. Not sure why they're playing that in that deck, but they are, and it got us. So, was not planning on that. Boo! I needed a land. Okay, well now they can start using all their removal cards. I think we're dead now. Because now they can just start Murderous Rider and all that stuff. You're just going to tap it? If so, that is going to be very conservative. Oh, you have that. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I played around the wrong cards. I don't even know what the opponent's deck's doing, y'all. All right, I'm going to give this to the opponent. They win. Like, okay. We'll keep this. See what we can turn this into. More red cards. Well, the only good thing about that is when you have a Swarm Chamber, you should get some 1/1s to block with. But we don't get to block that. I mean, we can, but I really don't want to. It's not in our best interests. That's cute, but we probably want that later. We need to draw land first before that even matters. Think our Swarm Shambler's about to eat it? Nope. I mean, just gonna Frostbite and then Stomp would be my guess. Alright, that works. Yep. We'll take our whole one. Didn't block just because we had the opportunity to possibly use a Gem Razor. I think here we're just going to go get a land, though. I said that trying to will the land to the top. I'm glad that worked, or that would have looked really silly. Now I'm just trying to decide if I want to Blizzard Brawl to fight that, or do I want to wait and fight a Bone Crusher Giants? Because if we do get another land, we could Pledge Mage, and then target the Pledge Mage to fight that, as it'll be a big enough creature. But it may require me just having to play this to draw a card to try to increase the likelihood of that happening. So I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to will it to be. If not, they play a Nax, and then we'll just play Gem Razor straight up and try to kill an Nax. Alright. 17. Here comes Bone Crusher. Hopefully they don't have any more 1 damage thingies that are going to make my life terrible. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. That helps quite a bit though. That is indeed what we were looking for. Brawl that. Attack. And we're still not loving a Frostbite, I'll tell you that. Man, I bet you there's going to be a Rimrock Knight in our future, isn't there? If we take 3, we could end up taking 4 or 5. And then they play that. We're at 10. Man. Them having our Surfarian is really not good here. It's just how much do I believe they have a Rimrock Knight is really what this is all about. Either way, if I believe they have it, then I can only block the Robber of the Rich. Because blocking the Fervent Champ does nothing. No, they have something they can play here. It may be a Stomp. they're debating, because then they can't cast the Surf Arid. Yep. That's exactly what it is. That worked out better than intended, actually. So I can get behind that. That's actually not terrible for us. So now that means we're just going to have to deal with Bone Crusher and Fervent Champ and a Cap. And we know we have this we can activate. Alright, so Jim Razor's really worried about, I guess, just Embercleave. Because the Nax isn't that bad right now. Man, can we win this race? Opponent goes to 14. We go to 13. If we keep up a Faceless Haven... Nah, we're not. We're going to do this. Actually... No, I'm going to attack. Because we can create a scenario next turn where if the opponent blocks, that's bad for them with our Gem Razor. And then we can still block with the Faceless Haven if we have to. I mean, they may also be wondering, like, why am I attacking? Because I'm going to be defenseless. So, like, I don't know. This is one of those weird back and forth scenarios. Two classic mono color decks going at it. This is not good, though, because they are hesitating playing their Giant, which means they drew something else that costs 3, most likely. Oh, no. Well, I guess we're going to use this after all. They did have something that cost 3. I just didn't know it was going to be Soulseer. Well, now this is bad for them, because now we're going to get to attack for 9. At least 9. Yeah, they don't have a 13-point attack, so I'm not worried about that. And Charge Through is actually going to work pretty well with the Faceless Haven, too. So that should be lethal. Because the Gem Razor already tramples. Unless that's something that kills the Faceless Haven, which it might be. Nope, that is not something that kills a Faceless Haven. Not too upset about that, all things considered. Man, this is weird. This deck does this on, what, 4 creatures? And some lands, but hey. That's all you need. That's all you need. Alright. Oh, that's... Okay, I see what you're doing. Yep, yep. No matter what, we're still just going to charge through this Faceless Haven, and that's going to do it. Yep. Even had a 3/3 Stone Cold Serpent, just because. Yep, that's not going to get you there, opponent. And one more land. Nope, not quite. I was going to say one more and I could activate. Oh, it would be able to activate both Faceless Havens. So yeah, just an interesting perspective, I guess, on cards not being great, but being just good enough. I guess is what I'm saying. Oh, are we going to kill my Swarm Shambler? Actually, probably not. They're playing... I bet they're playing stuff more akin to, like Glass Caskets or whatever. Alright. Let's see it. Oh, Forbidden Friendship. So we're doing that. Oh, this is probably Luca trying to play big Valimachus, if I were guessing. So if that's what I believe it is, how much are we willing to risk to find out if we're right or not? Because a Shatter of the Sky could very well be coming on this next turn. I mean, I guess if I'm wrong, we play the Quandrix Pledge Mage next turn and call it good. Oh boy. Alright. It's one of those ones that, like, if we're wrong, we're wrong. But man, if we're right, you know? Okay. Open the Omen Pass. Oh no. Alright, Godzilla. Alright. This is not what I thought was happening. This is completely way different than I thought was gonna go down. Oh wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. I literally don't know what's happening now. I don't know how any of these cards go together. Like, I'm literally, like, racking my brain trying to figure out, like, what am I even worried about the opponent doing? Okay, they conceded anyway. I didn't have to find out. Now, I will tell you, one of the reasons I do like this deck is the games are fairly fast. You don't spend a lot of time just goofing around if you're trying to ladder and you want to do something that's not mono red or mono white. It does have a little bit of flexibility, which I enjoy. It can hit really hard and be surprising. You can kind of, I mean, I've had times where you've been able to go from, 7 mana short to lethal in the same turn. So that's also pretty fun to be able to do. But yeah, I think this is a fun deck. The one thing I will say, if there's a way to play it that I think matters, is remember to be patient. There's a lot of times, because you have stuff like Snakeskin Veil, you can sit back a little bit, wait, set up a big attack, and then go get your opponent. So that's probably the only real piece of advice I have there. I'm really hoping that maybe we get an extra card or two, say maybe either in the D&D set or the fall sets. And if we can get some good 1 or 2 mana things, I think this could really be taken over the top. But for now, I think it's actually pretty playable. And once the format starts to shake out here in about 2 weeks, then you can start deciding on what other spells are or aren't worth including. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Millstone. Which, if you just started playing, I guess you wouldn't really know, but back in 94, there was a deck just called The Deck, and the win condition was to mill the opponent. So they just tried to flip cards every turn till they killed you. The funny thing is, though, over the coming years, we actually would get to where we just refer to everything as turning cards from your graveyard into your library as just being milling. We'd just mill you for 2, or mill you for 5. And the neat thing is, over time, R&D just realized everybody called it this anyway. So they took a piece of Magic vernacular and turned it into actual game rules text. So it's kind of cool how the game can evolve in that matter. Don't forget, if you want today's deck list, you can get it in the description down below, as well as links to my Facebook gaming streams and my Twitch streams and my Discord. So if you want to come be part of stuff or just share your views or tell me how much you love me, well, you can go ahead and do that at any of those links. Also remember, if you are shopping at TCGPlayer or Amazon, I have affiliate links for both down in the description. If you shop through those links, anything you buy, I'll get a small kickback and you'll be helping me and the channel out without spending any extra money. And finally, don't forget, if you haven't, and I don't know why you haven't if you've gotten this far, please consider hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Those things are so important, they really help, and it lets you be notified every time I have a video up. That's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.